So this morning we saw Fed Chairman Jerome Powell testify in front of the House panel, and in fact we ended up seeing Tesla stock dip down as well as the overall NASDAQ index. Now this meeting went exactly as I thought it would go, as I recently mentioned to the Push and Profit private group last night, saying, hey, tomorrow it is likely that he, being Jerome Powell, will address the pause and continue with hawkish rhetoric in order to tame the markets, which has called his bluff. But I also told the Push and Profit private group recently that, hey, this week is a bit of a stress test pullback week, and if we do pull back, we could see markets bounce and continue to rally up again. Now going forward into June 22nd, tomorrow on Thursday, we also have some additional data coming out, and we also have Jerome Powell testifying in front of the Senate panel. However, I'm not going to be paying attention to what Jerome Powell says to the Senate, because everything that he told the House today is pretty much going to be the same thing he's going to tell the Senate tomorrow. In fact, it's often, pretty much a clown show when you hear Jerome Powell testify in front of Congress, especially because often we hear Congress ask questions to Jerome Powell about fiscal policy when we know that Jerome Powell has no influence on fiscal policy, and in fact that's mostly the job of the Treasury and the executive branch. And you would think that members of Congress would know other parts of the government, and that understanding that would be a prerequisite to actually be someone who is a worker in the government. But unfortunately it's not, and it always ends up to a clown show. But with that said, I also mentioned to the Push and Profit private group that we have a forward PE of 19 in the overall S&P 500, which means that we're getting to some really high levels. However, I mentioned that although these current valuations are quite high, I don't believe we're quite yet done with this bullish cycle that we're in, and we're not going to see the bullish cycle really end until we start seeing that, bad economic data actually start to hurt corporate profits. So basically what I'm trying to get at in regards to Tesla is that as we go into the end of this week, it's kind of expected to have somewhat of a pullback. As I said, it's a stress test type of week, and Jerome Powell, as I called out, did kind of have that hawkish tone, and really emphasizing that, hey, we may still need to hike 2 additional more times. And so we're seeing the market react kind of negative to this, and this obviously provides us with a little bit of an opportunity, as I said, because I don't think this bull market or the cyclical bull market is absolutely over yet. And so we could see Tesla or an overall market kind of dip a little, which provides us an opportunity to really buy into the bounce after there's confirmation of an uptrend, and actually take advantage of that momentum going back up again, right? And so this is a little bit of an opportunity for those who have been waiting to buy more shares of Tesla. Now, for those of you guys that are unaware, when I talk about Tesla, I look at it from 2 separate approaches, right? From one approach, I obviously have exposure to Tesla in my long-term portfolio, where I simply just hold a lot of index funds, and then of course I have exposure to some Tesla shares, and I simply just buy and hold, and as Tesla's going up higher, I don't do anything. I wait for the dips and the confirmation of the bounce for me to actually add more shares of Tesla into my long-term portfolio. So this may very well be the opportunity to actually dollar cost average into your long-term portfolios. It's something that I may do going into next week. Of course, we have to assess the data that's going to be coming out, and obviously always be data dependent, but this is a great opportunity. Now, as far as the short term, because I have 2 separate accounts, a long-term portfolio, and then I have a short-term trading account where I trade, stocks like Tesla in the short term. Now, I'm not going to be shorting Tesla, even if Tesla starts trending down towards the end of the week. I'd rather not do that, simply because we know that at any moment Tesla could have the catalyst news of another company actually joining the supercharging network for Tesla, or also the announcement of the production for Cybertrucks. That's right around the corner. And of course, I don't want to be caught up in that. So again, for the short-term trading account, I'm going to wait for that, dip, and then kind of take advantage of that buying opportunity going long on Tesla as well, and as well as other stocks in the overall NASDAQ and S&P as well. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the video, the forward PE ratio, we're kind of seeing a little bit of high valuations. I think things could go a little bit higher, but as we start going into 2024, that's when I think the economic headwinds that we see are going to actually start bleeding into the overall market. See, when I talk about, what's going on with high interest rates, this stuff doesn't happen immediately, right? It takes a while until we actually see, bad news in the economy kind of bleed into corporate profits. And so, we're heading into the second half of 2023. We're going to want to pay attention to what happens with these new earnings that we're going to see come up in the next few weeks, and obviously assess the data. And obviously I'm still bullish, but hey, I'm going to be moving with some caution for both my short-term and long-term portfolio as we start heading into 2024. Now, for those of you guys that want to be part of the Push and Profit private group, make sure to check out the first link in the description below. That link is going to be a link where you have access to join the Push and Profit private group. You have access to the video lesson library where I talk about what stocks I'm looking to, or you have access to the video lesson library where you basically see what it is that I look at when it comes to trading and investing. But you also have access to the Discord private chat where every single day I talk about what's going on in the overall market, what stocks I'm looking to trade and invest in, and the reason why. So definitely take advantage of that link in the description below. And with that being said, guys, I don't want to make this video very long. I want to keep it short, sweet, and concise. So with that being said, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and also make sure to watch this next video right over here, and I'll see you guys on that next video. Take care, guys.